Welcome back to Kruznik's Sanctuary, Final Fantasy XIV, and the Magic Roll DPS quest for Final Fantasy XIV. For Endwalker, I should mean. Kruznik X here, and Arya Stormborn is absent at the moment. Last episode. Well, shit hit the fan when the... Well... Let's just say that Bishop Valtenois was trying to do what his predecessor did, and not as successfully. And then he turned into a blasphemy, and Emmerich had to kill him in cold blood. I would have done it for him, but yeah, no. He just did it himself. Good for him, but still. Save me some fun, why don't ya? Anyway, we're still back on Red Mage, and so let's get right down to it with the next quest in the Magic DPS quest line. The level 88 quest, Wills Unending, Faith Unbending. Chris, you are ever a sight for sore eyes. Welcome back, Emmerich. Ill tidings, my friends. I dispatched the Temple Knights to find the clergymen who aided in Bishop Valtenois' summoning attempt. Regrettably, when confronted, all turned and had to be put down. Without their accounts, how then to ascertain that the clone and Vaindro are the same individual? Maintaining the assumption that they are, perhaps we should instead consider how Vaindro may have found his way to Kurthus. According to Chris's vision, he was abandoned in Azizla. But what did he do afterwards? Then there is but one way to ascertain the truth. We follow his trail. I shall go and search for the clone in Azizla. If he is still there, then we are dealing with a different individual. A splendid idea. We leave the floating continent in your capable hands. Meanwhile, Chris and I shall retrace Vaindro's steps whence he first appeared. Upon being found in the Central Highlands, he was taken to Camp Dragonhead. Let us begin by making inquiries there. Alright, some field work.
Follow the yellow brick road. You love me.
Bitch, you're adorable.
It helps if I grab the right mouse.
Alright, off to Camp Dragonhead. Alright, let's start inside. Oh, Yael. Yael? Ah, 'tis ever an honor to receive you. What brings you to our humble camp this day? An injured man who was found out in the wilds? Yes, I know the one. I was with the patrol that chanced on into him north of here at Providence Point. He was unconscious and in a bad way, and we hurriedly bore him back to camp. After doing what we could for him, we sent him on to the city. Your exchange with Yael has taught you about where Vaindro was found. Alright. Let's head to the Intercessory. Nine? Well now, if it isn't the late Lord Harshafon's dear friend. Is there something you require? Ah, yes, the mystery man. I was among those who tended him. He was not attired for the snow, much less the snowstorm in which he had been caught, and was suffering from frostbite. When people are extremely cold, they may mistakenly feel that they are warm and disrobe. That might explain his state of undress. Your exchange with Nine has taught you about Vaindro's state when he was found. Alright, let's head upstairs. A little higher. Oh.
Investigating the stranger we found, have you? Are you? I wasn't involved myself, so I can't tell you much about the fellow. But in case it is of interest, earlier the same day I caught sight of an airship flying dangerously low. It soon disappeared into the brewing snowstorm, looking none too steady.
Your exchange with Theobalin has taught you about an airship flying low. Hup, skip and a jump. Why is Emmerich talking to the Chocobo Keep? Yeah,
There you are. Were you able to learn aught of interest?
Here's the notes concerning where he was found, the notes about the airship flying low, and the state when he was found.
A mysterious man found collapsed after an airship was seen flying low. Yes, the accounts I heard are consistent with yours. I, for one, am curious about the fate of this unknown airship.
To that end, I have arranged a pair of black chocobos for us, the more efficiently to scour the area. We shall contain our search to Providence Point, where Vaindro is said to have been found.
If you are ready, let us be off.
Let's go. How appropriate we should be in the middle of a blizzard when all this is going down.
Nothing so far. Let us continue northeast.
Here we go. Ah, the Weeping Saint. Didn't we kill a chimera here earlier? Well.
By the Fury! It's the blasphemy!
And now for another flashback, courtesy of the Echo. This is just not our day for actual fighting. So, he flew out of Azizla somehow, and passed out here.
His Eminence must protect His Eminence.
Ah, you're finally awake.
Alone be praised.
How are you feeling? Strong enough to speak? Can you tell me your name?
My name... My name is... Zephyrin? No, Charabot. Or was it Velguin? Poloclane? So many names swirling in my mind, and voices that reject them. Is there none they will accept? Are you all right? Vaindro. My name is Vaindro. Well now, that's the same as our infirmary. I dare say fate has guided you to us. So, Vaindro, if you are feeling up to a little conversation, can you tell me about yourself? Anything else you remember? Anything at all? A proud son of House Samael. Nay, a devout servant of Halone, who lives for the rush of battle, the pleasure in inflicting pain, the attentions of maidens, to fight beside my brother in arms. A low-born runt, whose every effort went unrewarded, whose very name disqualified him from ever leading the Temple Knights. But his eminence raised me up, granted me a place at his side. From that day forth, I pledged my sword to his service, pledged my very being, my life to be offered up in defense of his. I am a knight of the Heavens Ward, sworn to protect and serve the Archbishop. Oh, you're a knight? Forgive me if that sounded rude, but I had no idea. And while I realize your memories may be a bit muddled, I'm afraid I must inform you that the Heavens Ward have not been seen in quite some time and are presumed dead. And the Archbishop, well, he is most certainly no longer of this world. But the important thing is you're safe now, and we'll help you get back on your feet. Speaking of which, let me bring you some food and water. You must be absolutely famished. The Archbishop? Dead? No. No, this cannot be. How can I still be alive when he is not? I must find him. Well, that explains a bit. Can we fight now? Chris! For the glory of King Thordan. Yeah, surely you remember me. Another vision, I take it. Yeah. And not one you're gonna like. Let us make for Ishgard. I expect that Lord Artoirel will return soon, if he is not already. And we should be both glad to hear your tale.
Alright, back to Kurthus. Or Foundation, I should say. Alright. There's the Temple Knight Guard. Man, you ain't gonna believe this!
Ah, Chris. I pray your search was more productive than mine own.
Everyone is here. Excellent. So, were you able to find our clone in Aziz's Law?
Nay, naught but the discarded Ascalon remained. How fared you with your own efforts in the Central Highlands?
In the course of retracing Vaindro's steps, we came upon the wreck of the Soliel. I suspect he found the vessel abandoned in Aziz's Law and tried to use it to return to Ishgard.
But he crashed en route and was subsequently rescued by a patrol from Camp Dragonhead.
So it would seem. And the Archbishop's airship was not the only thing we found. Profane Fafnir was there too. The creature chose to flee, but not before Chris had a vision of Vaindro's past. Go on, my friend. Share with us what you witnessed. Well, he certainly left Aziz's Law by way of the Soliel, and then was found by the Ishgardians. So, yeah, that's about it.
All the pieces fit. And it is as you surmise, my lord. Vaindro and the clone are one and the same, and in his despair he turned into the blasphemy. Yet the confusion he exhibited when asked his name, 'tis as if he wasn't sure of his own identity.
According to the Scions, primals retain the memories of their previous incarnations. From this, it may be assumed that the clone harbors the memories of all those who became King Thordan and his Knights 12. Though he struggled to reconcile these conflicting memories, he managed to settle on the name of Vaindro. The voices within were clearly in agreement when facing Chris, the mere sight of whom drove the blasphemy to flee. Above all, however, they share in the desire to protect the Archbishop. This desire was seared into Vaindro's very being, and when he learned that he no longer had a purpose, the Heavens Ward took up arms against us in Ishgard. By their hand were we robbed of one of our finest knights and a dear friend. Even so, I would not wish such a terrible fate upon them. The self-same fate inflicted upon full many clergymen, and a fate I fear ordinary citizens will succumb to if we fail to act. The people will not soon forget the betrayal of our church's leadership, nor should they. But absent the comfort and stability once afforded to them by the institution, many have become lost, and are all too vulnerable to despair. The church can still be a source of comfort, but things need to change. Yep. I thought as much myself, my friend, but to hear you say it as well. Indeed, when the ground upon which we stand crumbles, we must find the strength to move forward, even should it cause us pain to do so. Lord Artoirel, at the next house session, I shall call for an ecumenical council to be held. My lord, such a gathering is reserved for... Oh, you intend for the search to codify new doctrine?
Since the separation of religion and state, we have refrained from interfering in church affairs. But if the church is to remain a part of Ishgardian society and continue serving the people, it must reconsider its role and formally address recent revelations. I would call for this council not as the Lord Speaker, but as a humble adherent of the faith. Long had I considered whether such measures were necessary, but lacked the courage to set them in motion. I now have it, thanks to you. Good to hear. I shall tend to the necessary preparations at once. Among other things, we must reach out to those of the clergy who are amenable to reform. I ask for your patience in the meantime. Well, we'll hopefully get to that in the next episode. We will be continuing with Red Mage, because we still haven't gotten to do any real combat with it yet. So the next quest will be the level 89 quest, Almighty Fury, Guide Us to Victory. But until then, if you're watching on Twitch, stay tuned. If you're watching on YouTube and you like this video, click the like button below and leave a comment. Click here to subscribe, and here are all the links provided to get you where you need to go. We'll see you in the next episode.